Reports of human trafficking in Ohio are on the rise, according to a new report at the Polaris Project, which works to prevent human trafficking. NBC4's newest reporter, Elise Chengary, has a closer look at those numbers. Welcome, Elise.
Hi, Colleen. Thank you. Now let's take a look at those numbers. Right here, you can see the number of cases back in 2012 was up 85, and now 2013 it went up to 139. So you can see that's quite a jump. It gradually got larger to 2014 at 164. So what about back in 2015? 289. So that's nearly double what it was just a few years prior to that. So what about just this past year in 2016? 375 human trafficking cases were reported to the National Human Trafficking Hotline just in 2016. Now, a vast majority of those calls were about women being exploited for sex. And these numbers, now these are just the ones documented. And now what about the amount of calls that came into that hotline? Around 1,300 just last year. Elise Chengary, NBC4.
Thank you, Elise. And there is help out there for victims of human trafficking. NBC4's Ted Hart has more on what's being done to identify cases of human trafficking and then help put a stop to it. Ted?
Well, and Colleen, this Thursday marks the 8th annual Ohio Human Trafficking Awareness Day events here at the State House. And the state has come a long way over those past 8 years in terms of changing perceptions about human trafficking, but also establishing networking connections between the agencies that can provide help. The interest in training seminars on human trafficking at a local faith-based organization called She Has a Name is at an all-time high. The seminars are designed to help people in the community, including professionals, be able to better recognize the signs.
Being able to say, I don't think that this is just someone who's overdosing, or I don't just think this is someone who happened to get beat up by a spouse. They're recognizing that there's a larger picture and a larger story here.
Schmacher says it's not just that cases of human trafficking are increasing in Ohio, it's that people are recognizing and reporting it accurately now. There's required training now for all new truck drivers in Ohio to combat human trafficking at truck stops. Law enforcement, healthcare professionals, and state workers have all received training. Schmacher says the pipeline, though, for new victims often starts with a computer or a cell phone.
In Ohio, we see the average age of entry into sex trafficking to be about 15 years old. And unfortunately, technology such as social media and the internet is contributing to a rise in those numbers.
And we have some helpful links and much more information on this issue on our website, NBC4i.com. Live at the State House, Ted Hart, NBC4.
Thank you, Ted.